Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl, and her name was Little Red Riding Hood. She lived with her mother near a big wood. One day, her mother said, "Your granny is ill. Take some cakes for her to eat." Now, Little Red Riding Hood's granny lived right in the middle of the wood. Little Red Riding Hood set off. She walked deeper and deeper and deeper into the wood. All at once, a bad wolf jumped out and said, "What is your name, little girl?" Little Red Riding Hood told him her name because she was afraid. Then the bad wolf said, "Where are you going, Little Red Riding Hood?" Little Red Riding Hood said, "I'm going to my granny's with some cakes." The bad wolf ran as fast as he could to Granny's house. He knocked on the door and Granny said, "Who's that?" Then the bad wolf made his voice very soft and said, "It's Little Red Riding Hood." Granny said, "That's all right then, come in." The bad wolf ran in and ate Granny up. Yes, he ate every bit. The bad wolf put on Granny's nightcap and Granny's glasses and got into Granny's bed. Little Red Riding Hood got to her Granny's house. She knocked on the door and the bad wolf said, "Who's that?" Little Red Riding Hood said, "It's Little Red Riding Hood, and I've brought you some cakes to eat." The bad wolf said in his soft voice, "Come in, my dear." So Little Red Riding Hood went into Granny's house. Little Red Riding Hood looked at her granny and said, "Oh, Granny, what big eyes you've got." "All the better to see you with, my dear," said the bad wolf. Then Little Red Riding Hood looked again and said, "Oh, Granny, what big ears you've got." "All the better to hear you with, my dear," said the bad wolf. Then Little Red Riding Hood looked once more and said, "Oh, Granny, what big teeth you've got." "All the better to eat you with, my dear," said the bad wolf. Then the bad wolf jumped out of bed to eat her up. But just then a woodcutter heard the bad wolf and ran in with his axe. The woodcutter took one look at the bad wolf. He lifted his axe. He chopped the bad wolf in half and out came Granny. After that, Granny got back into bed and they all ate the cakes for tea. So that was the end of the bad wolf. And this is the end of the story. I hope you all enjoyed the story. See you next time.